The long walk back down the mountain and the bitter cold wind biting into your very soul barely registered to you. You were so lost in your thoughts, in the story that was just told to you from a source that you never would have believed only the day before. You still have no memories as to your past, as to who you are or even what you are. You caught a glimpse of yourself in the stream when you stopped to quench your thirst the other day, and what stared back at you in the reflection was unlike anything you had seen before. You didn't look like the rest of the people you had seen since you started wandering around aimlessly a few days ago, which is the first solid memory you have. The face looking back at you in the reflection had horns, a scaly face, and piercing eyes that had the look of age as old as time itself. You had thought you were what these people called an Argonian, as you could see your body had scales like one, but the face definitely looked like the rest of these people, only with a few scales on it. As you stared at that face in the water's reflection, trying to remember anything, that is when it happened. A dragon, immense in size and ferocity, landed nearly on top of you, and would have crushed you if it were not for lightning-fast reflexes and uncanny ferocity. Before you knew what had happened, the dragon lay dead at your feet. As you stared down at your blood-covered hands, the body started withering away, and an energy came out of the dead dragon and into your body. You felt stronger, faster, more alert, and you knew that somehow you now possessed this beast's very soul. Strange images now occupied your mind, images of soaring high above the mountains on great wings, images of dragons, images of a great black dragon that brought feelings of both admiration and hatred that were alien and confusing to you as to how you felt both towards this dragon. An image of falling to the earth with a great pain in your right wing as you plummeted. You didn't know if these were memories of your own or images of this dragon's whose soul you somehow absorbed, but one thing you knew without a doubt at that very moment was the pull you felt to get to the top of that mountain you are now descending from. When you had gotten to the top of the mountain and saw that nothing was there and no answers to be learned as to who and what you were getting ready to start the long descent back down when you heard the roar and looked up and saw another dragon coming in. You had readied yourself for another attack, but to your surprise, this one landed in front of you and showed no aggression. As you stared into its eyes, you felt a strong sense of familiarity. Somehow you knew this dragon. Then he opened his mouth and started talking to you. He said his name was Parthenax and proceeded to tell you a story unlike you had ever imagined. "Greetings, Vulvingdin," he said. "I see by the look on your face you are in need of many answers. Come sit, let me give you what you seek." As you listened to Parthenax, he explained how your full name is Vulon Vingaldinok, which means night-winged death in our tongue. Our tongue, he said. He proceeded to tell you an amazing tale, that the great black dragon in your visions is a dragon named Alduin. You had been his most trusted lieutenant in an age long ago. Parthenax proceeded to tell you how he had come to you in secret with proof to Alduin's ultimate goal, which was to destroy all of Nirn, and if he was to be successful, how it would also mean the end of all dragons alongside everything else. You had not wanted to believe it, as you were fiercely loyal to Alduin, but with all the evidence you could not deny it. And that was when you and Parthenax came up with a plan to preemptively take out Alduin. As you were flying back from your clandestine meeting with Parthenax, your mind lost in thought and defenses down, you didn't see the dark shape rocketing towards you. You felt the impact and the severe pain in your right wing. As you started plummeting, your wings useless, you looked up to see Alduin with hatred burning in his eyes and a large part of your wing clutched between his teeth. Parthenax then proceeded to explain how he located your body and pulled your soul from it and shouted your soul into the body of a long-deceased human, a great dragon slayer in her time. where you slumbered until the time would come when you were needed to help thwart Alduin's return to finish what he had planned millennia ago. That now that Alduin is returned, you have awakened from that slumber. So here you are, lost in your thoughts once again, working your way back down this mountain. You are unsure if any of the grand tale you have just been told is true, or all of it is, but you do know that this feeling to confront this Alduin, this great black dragon, that stirs many conflicting emotions within you, is a pull that you couldn't ignore even if you wanted to. So you will pursue this course and face this Alduin, and maybe, just maybe, recover who you are at the end of it. Hey guys, Tat here. Welcome to my channel. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Alright, so what we got going on here is a character build. It's actually 3 characters, but 1 character. The backstory, everything is all the same character. It's just there's 3 different builds, 1 for each element of fire, frost, and shock, for whichever one you decide that you want to play as. But the backstory and everything is going to be the same. So, as you gathered from the backstory, you were a lieutenant of Alduin's in ages past, and fiercely loyal to Alduin, but Paarthurnax had come to you and explained with evidence what Alduin's ultimate goal was, which was to destroy all of Nirn, and how that in return would also mean your destruction and all other dragons and with everything else, because everything would be destroyed. So you concluded that you were going to work with Paarthurnax, and you guys were going to, you came up with a plan to preemptively take out Alduin. So Alduin somehow got word of this, or caught wind of it or something, and he ended up taking you out before you could even attempt to take him out. So what had happened was, of course, he killed you, and Paarthurnax had captured your soul, and he shouted it into the deceased body of an ancient dragon slayer. So your soul now was residing inside of this this human's body, and you slumbered until the time came when Alduin returned, and you could continue your fight against Alduin. So where your story ends up, starting as you start playing the game, of course, is I would suggest you probably want to use something like Alternative Start or Skyrim Unbound, so that you don't do the whole beginning sequence, and just set it to where you start like out in the wilderness or something somewhere, and you start your journey and you start the game. Basically, you don't remember anything. You don't even know who you are, what you are. You can see your hands and your arms and your body. You can see that you're scaly, and you thought that maybe you're an Argonian, what these people call an Argonian. But then you were drinking water from a stream, and you saw your reflection, and you did not have an Argonian face. You had a face that was very human looking, but just had some scales on it. And of course, that's where this all started. So what you're going to want to do is, if you're going to role play this completely, is, like I said, start with Alternative Start or Skyrim Unbound, and you're going to want to start the main mission as soon as you can, which is, you're going to go up to the throat of the world. Of course, the dialogue's not going to match with Paarthurnax or anything like that. There's nothing you can do about that. You're going to have to headcanon that, but your main objective with this playthrough, of course, is the main quest line. That's your whole purpose, is defeating Alduin. So that's where you're going to want to start. You're going to want to start doing that right away after you get the build built, of course. You're going to want to do that right away. And then after you defeat Alduin, the choice is all yours of what you want to do. Do you want to, play that you kind of went down a dark path after that, from just depression and loneliness and just feeling lost in this world? Or do you feel a higher calling and you're going to go a path of noble deeds and fighting for the just and stuff? So you can pretty much do whatever you want after the main quest line. If you want to start doing, Dark Brotherhood quests and Thieves Guild quests and whatever, if you're taking a darker path, or if you're taking a more noble path, you may want to do like Dawn Guard and side with the Dawn Guard, stuff like that. That's all up to you after that. But I would suggest for the build, just of course doing the main quest line first and getting that all done, because that's this character's main deal, is defeating Alduin. So like I said, it's 1 character, but there's 3 builds, basically 1 for each element, whichever one you want to do. I'm going to put this intro and backstory is going to be at the beginning of each of the builds, So it's because the story is going to be the same. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the build. Or the builds, I guess you could say. They're all pretty fun. I enjoyed the lightning one the most, but they're all really fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the builds, whichever one you choose, or if you choose all three. So we're going to go ahead and get going into the build now. So go ahead and sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. All right, roll the intro. Hey guys, alright, so I guess what we're going to do is start with the frost dragon person, whatever you want to call them, hybrid. So what we're going to do is to start this out, we'll just go ahead and go over all the gear, the perks, all that kind of stuff, and then we will go and do some actual fighting, and so you can see the build in action. So I guess what we'll do to start this out is I'll show you the house that I chose for I'm just gonna call her a dragon, and whatever, she's a dragon person. So the house that I chose for the frost one here is a place that's called the Frozen Sanctuary, and it is located way up here past Winterhold. Here's Winterhold down here. Here's the college. I haven't unlocked it yet. Right here is Septimus's thing for the Ogma Infinium. This is the chill. That's basically the jail for Winterhold if you go to jail. And it brings you way out here is where the mod puts the Frozen Sanctuary. And I thought that it suited her really well. Because it's a frozen cave basically. So you got some frozen, they look like, I don't know, graybeards maybe. I guess they're graybeards, but you got, you know, frozen dragons in here, a frozen saber cat, another frozen saber cat, and you basically have like a dining area with a frozen fire basically. This little area in here is your sleeping quarters with frozen beds, ice beds, same thing. Little frozen chests so you can store things. And then over here is basically your enchanting and your alchemy. There is no smithing in this with this house, which is kind of unfortunate, but it was really hard trying to find like a frozen themed house. I found an igloo, but it was a lot smaller than this. It didn't really have anything. And I don't know, she seemed more like she would be like chilling out, well, chilling, no pun intended. She'd be chilling out like in a frozen cave, not like in an igloo that she made. So, you know, this is going towards the entrance. You got a frozen bear here and another frozen dragon. Yeah, this was about the best I could find for a frozen themed player home. And you don't have to have a player home, of course, for the build, but you know, it's kind of nice having all that added on there. I will tell you that when you first come out here for the house, there is a really difficult fight with a, I don't want to give it away and spoil it what it is, but a very difficult, I guess you can call him a boss or something. And usually he's still out here after you kill him, because I did notice that he keeps respawning after, I don't know, maybe 30 in-game days or something. But yeah, he's very difficult, just so you are prepared when you first come out here. Right over there is the, well, we'll go over there and check it out, is the actual the jail for Winterhold is right here where that Horker is at. So right there's the entrance, so you know where it's at. What you need to do if you're not using like the flying mod and stuff like that is you'll come over here and you see this boat over here. It'll tell you like to Skyrim, see, and it'll basically put you over here on the island, and it's probably going to make that guy spawn again. No, okay, good, because I wanted to leave that for a surprise, so you can come over here and check that guy out. He's really difficult. but a pretty fun fight. And he's a unique enemy. I've never seen one, you know, of course, like him. He's just for that mod, for that player home. But there's the college up there, so you can tell where it's at. And I thought, like I said, I thought it really suited her to have like a frozen cave, basically for her player home. There, like I said, the only other thing I could find that had a frozen theme to it for a player home was an igloo, and it was really small, like you would think the inside of an igloo would be. And yeah, I just didn't think that she would be, you know, hanging out in an igloo. She'd be, you know, hanging out like in a cave. So a frozen cave. The only thing that it's lacking, like I said, is any kind of smithing area. So, but this character isn't using smithing. But of course you could. I mean, you don't have to copy the build directly. Let's see here. So I guess what we'll do here is go ahead and go over gear. So we'll start with the sword. The sword is the beam katana. I'll put links to all of this stuff in the description here. This is a beam katana. It's kind of doesn't really suit Skyrim in a way. It's kind of futuristic looking, but I liked it for you can see you can really see it good at night, but they've got like a glow to them. You can kind of see it along the edge there. It looks white, but it's really blue. And look, we got a damn assault starting. So I guess we'll go ahead and fight this dragon here, since he had to come and disturb us. It's a forest dragon. I haven't played this character for a while, so it's gonna take me a bit to get used to again what all I did for to try to get dragons to land. I don't think I have dragon rend or anything like that. I do have dragon rend, don't I? Yeah, I do. Okay, well, I kind of don't want to do dragon rend because I want to show you one of the things that she can do to pretty much instantly kill a dragon. If I can get him to land, that is. He's gonna go and land on the roof, isn't he? Yeah. Maybe I will try to use Dragon Rend on him, and maybe he'll still do it. Yeah. I gotta make sure I don't have Become Ethereal activated, though. So he's probably gonna come land over here. So what you're gonna do is you need him to bite you, basically. Where's this idiot landing? I don't even see. Oh, he's way up. Did he go to the college? I bet. Yeah, he went and landed at the college. Well, we're not going to deal with that right now. So, so basically, yeah, we were on the katana. So I chose this because, like I said, it's got the blue along the edge and all that, and I thought it really suited all the other blue. Look, he's going to land anyways. He didn't stay dragon rended very long, did he? I'll try you one more time, dude, and then I'm not going to play with you anymore. You need to go land over here. Usually they go land right there at the end of the road. Yeah, he's going to do it there. Okay, don't breathe on me, just try to bite me. Bite me. See that? Just instantly killed him. So basically what that is, and then we'll get back to the gear, is that's a shout that is right here, curse. And it's all 5 words. So basically what that does is when you curse something with all 5 words, is any damage they inflict on you, they take 5 times as much damage. The first word is 3 times as much, and the last word is 5 times. So you don't want to have any kind of real armor going. This build, and we'll get into it here, doesn't really. I mean, she's using Stalrim armor, of course, for the look, but it's not smithed up or anything like that, and so she only has 140 armor rating. So that's not very high at all, especially because I'm playing on legendary difficulty, and I'm using Revenge of the Enemies and Wildcat, so 2 difficulty enhancing mods. So it's really, the difficulty is really up there. So I mean, even with capped out armor, you still take a lot of damage. So, but the point of that is, with curse, is you don't really want a whole lot of armor, because you want them to do a lot of damage to you, because then they're going to take 5 times as much. So if you had a lot of armor and he went and bit you and only did like 50 damage to you or something, that's going to make him take 250 damage. But if he does 200 damage, then he's going to take 1,000 damage to you. So you want them to do a whole lot of damage. And see, that one didn't quite work as I was hoping, because he didn't kill me. Normally what would happen would be is he'd actually kill me when he bit me, but because I'm using the where is it here? It is, where's the stone at? The lover stone. I don't like the first part of that, where the lover periodically gives you a random enchanted weapon and armor, because it fills up your inventory pretty fast with a bunch of stuff. I mean, it sells for a lot of gold, but the second part of it is you cheat death when slain, returning to life with full health. This effect has a 15-minute cooldown. So once every 15 minutes, if you get killed, you instantly, kind of like a respawn type thing, and you're alive again. So basically what it is they kill you, but they kill themselves at the same time. So you're basically killing them by suiciding yourself. So it's actually pretty cool. But for whatever reason, he didn't bite me hard enough to kill me. He got my health pretty low, but he didn't kill me. So that's normally what I would do if that is on cooldown or something like that, or if you're running deadly dragons with more than one dragon attacking. You have like 3 or 4 dragons, you can't really do that to each dragon because of the 15-minute cooldown. What you would do, is you would have to use armor and get them, not be killing them like that. But okay, let's get back into the gear here. So we were on the katana. It's the Saryu or whatever, I don't know how to say that, katana. There's different colors, there's blue, white, red, stuff like that. For whatever reason, it could not be smithed up. I tried to smith it. It tells you what materials you need, but even though I had the materials, and I tried it by giving myself 100 smithing and taking every perk in the smithing tree, and it still wouldn't let me smith it. So there's something wrong with it there, but I'm kind of happy with that, because I find for the difficulty that I have it at, 100 damage is just about right. It still does pretty good damage, but it's not one-shotting everything. So I've even thought about giving it a little bit less damage by taking one of my pieces of one-handed gear off, but it seems to be just about right. So I'm kind of glad that it couldn't be enchanted, and for whatever reason you can't, or smith, and you can't enchant it either. So if you're okay with that without being able to smith it or enchant it, they're really cool looking swords, and they come in one-handed and two-handed. The next we'll go over is our gear. There's nothing on the piercing. So we have one-handed attacks do 35% more damage and grants 21 resistance to magic. One-handed attacks again and resist magic again. And then the same thing again, one-handed attacks and resist magic. So that's up to 63% magic resist right there. I believe I have her at 80 or 85, whatever the cap is. But yeah, I've been thinking about changing one of these around and taking a little bit of the one-handed off. This dragon guard right here, this actually comes with the Revenge of the Enemies mod that makes enemies, a lot tougher. It gives you basically all your stat or your attributes, they regenerate quicker, and it gives you 20% reduction in shouting. So that's a pretty nice amulet there. I don't know exactly where you find it at, because I just use the add item menu mod to add this stuff in at the beginning when I'm making a character. So the horns I'm using, again, I'll add a link to all these. This comes from a mod called Dragon Horns and Tail. She's not using the tail, of course, because this race has a tail, but the horns, I'm using the Frost Dragon horns because they kind of have the same look as her skin tone and like her hair and stuff, so it matches really well. But there's different colored horns, and each one of these dragons that I made here have a different colored one. That goes into the Haven bag. That's so we can fly here. Actually, this ring isn't used. You can just throw it away or whatever because the mod's been changed and it's just a spell. But even if you throw this away, it puts a new ring in your inventory, so I just leave it. This jewelry here, it comes from KS Jewelry, and it cannot be enchanted. I just have it for the looks. That's why I'm running left-hand rings, because that way I can... Because I'm not running any kind of helmet or anything for enchanting. So I have the left-hand ring to take that enchanting slot. I just have it for the looks. You can't enchant this stuff because there's a mod called... I don't know what it is, but on the web page for KS Jewelry, it's got a link for it, and it's so you can basically put any enchantment on any piece of gear. So you could enchant those horns, you could enchant this, but I try not to overdo it. I try to keep it as much close to vanilla as I can, as far as how many enchantments I can have. So I'm not just over, doing everything and running around basically in God mode. The Monroe comes from that also. That's the piercing on by your lip, like a beauty mark. The nose piercing, and so you could enchant all those with that enchant anything mod, but I choose not to. The jewelry here has health regenerates 27 faster and another 21% resistance to magic. So that's right there's 84% resistance to magic, and I don't remember if it's 80 or 85 is cap, but she basically has capped out magic resistance. The boots don't have anything on them. You could choose whatever you want, put it on there. There's a lot of cool enchantments in the Summer Mist mod, so you could probably find some really neat ones there. There's one like for magnetism that sucks all enemies into you like a magnet, so it'd be a lot easier to hit them all with your sword. But there's a lot of neat enchantments. On the gauntlets, I take 17% less damage from attacks when your health falls below 25%. That enchantment comes from Summer Mist. Take 20% less attack damage while blocking. That comes from Summer Mist. And then, of course, Bashing deals 20% more damage. And the reason why this has 3 enchantments on it is because of the Ordinator perk overhaul. In enchanting, you can enchant one piece of item 3 times. It's the very top of the enchanting tree called Miracle or something like that. And then, of course, on the Stalrum Heavy Armor, I have increases your health by 54 points. That's a vanilla enchantment. But this next one, increase your health by 10 points and grants 41% frost resist. I didn't get it for that enchantment. But that enchantment comes it comes on a enchanted magical effects or something. Again, I'll put the link in the description. And what that does is you can see how she's got like that white. It looks like a frost fog coming off of her to make her look like she's really cold. That effect, that visual effect, comes on from that mod, and there's basically all these different pieces of armor, chest armor, and you can enchant it and put that enchantment on anything you want. And they each come with different bonuses. Like there's a poisoning one that has like a green effect, and it enhances like a poisoner's type enchantment. I don't remember what all the enchantments do. Like I said, I got it for the visual effect, but it comes with 10 points of health and 41% resistance to frost. If you don't want that visual effect, or if your system can't handle it, you put whatever you want, for your enchantments. You put whatever you want for enchantments or anything. I'm just showing what I have if you're wanting to duplicate the build. Is close to this. Let's see, again over here, this is for the wings, and it comes from a mod called Animated Dragon Wings, and you make these mutagens basically at a cooking pot, and this one right here, as you saw, takes the wings away. And then this one right here, there's, I believe, like 8 or 9, maybe 10 different colored wings, And then of course I picked the snow dragon wings for because they look like frost dragons. So let's see, what else do we got here? Auto savings. What we got? The scroll of the dragon hide. Right here, I use scrolls for casting dragon hide. I figured rather than getting smithing and smithing the gear up to armor cap or physical resistance cap, basically physical damage resistance, I thought it kind of suited them better for them to have dragon hide, since they're kind of like dragon hybrid people type thing. So I used the scrolls, because whenever you do the scroll, it gives you, it says 30 seconds, but I guess because of alteration and stuff I have, will go over my perks, it does it, well, I'll show you here, it does it for a full hour. So that's really nice. So you can see here in my magic effects, that's the shouts. 59 minutes and 58 seconds. So it gave me a full hour of Dragonhide. So that's real nice. You don't have to keep recasting it and everything. And I thought that it suited them better to have Dragonhide rather than capped out armor. So she has 140 armor rating, as you saw, without Dragonhide up. And on legendary difficulty with Wildcat and Revenge of the Enemies, you're going to get nuked pretty much instantly. So, but that kind of gives you a little bit of a buffer space to take maybe one hit without dying, so that you can get like ethereal or something. But you know, once you put on Dragonhide, you can see it takes away the armor rating. It says that, oh, it still says I have 141, but it gives you basically capped armor. It's 80 or 85% damage resistance. Maybe it's 90. I don't remember what cap is. And then let's see. That's not that. That's nothing. Okay, so what we'll go over now is we'll go ahead and go over the skills. Well, we'll just start right here. Restoration. You're going to take 2 out of 2 for Restoration Mastery, or you could take just 1 out of 2. It's so you can move up to, in Spirit Tutors, if you find them around and they give you a blessing, it's just going to make your restoration spells even better, but it's not really necessary for this build. Again, it's just to move up to these two. Pilgrim. Shrine blessings you receive are 1% stronger per level of restoration. And then Gods and Mortals. Shrine blessings last 50% longer, and the blessings of the divines, Akatosh, Arcade, Dibella, Julianos, Kinnereth, Mara, Stendor, and Talos Zenithar, confer powerful additional effects. So what you're taking that for, those two skills, let's see here. I also have one here called Portable Blessings. So this would be like going to a shrine and getting Talos's blessing. So what happens there is, you can see now I have, well, 12 hours of basically getting blessed by the Shrine of Talos. So you don't have to keep worrying about, you know, going over there and getting blessed in every, however long it lasts in game. I don't know, 10 minutes or something is what it seems like. But so you just get your blessing, you don't have to deal with it. You get your 20% reduction. And the blessing of Talos, I don't remember exactly what it does with gods and whatever that is. It's something about if somebody dies while under the effect of a shout, then your shout gets your cooldown timer gets reset. I believe it's something like that. I don't know exactly where it's at in here. Yeah, I'm not seeing exactly what it does. I do remember reading it somewhere. Maybe it was on the mod page for Ordinator. But you basically want it for the 20% reduction in your shout cooldown. Because the way I have it right now, you almost always have instant shouts. So that's what you're wanting in Restoration, is just up that one tree to get those two. And you could, in fact, if you were wanting to save skill points, not even get this one and just get this one right here, Pilgrim, because that's what's making the Shrine Blessing last so long, because it's making it 1% longer. Okay, so alteration here, we're taking just 1 out of 2 in the beginning just to get moving up. Wild Shrines just to move up. You could go and get the Destruction Shrine. I don't know if that affects destruction shouts like ice breath, but you could give it a try. I kind of think that it doesn't though. Intuitive magic we're not worrying about. What we're going over here for is the monarch. So you cannot regenerate magicka and lose 10 points of magicka per second, but absorb 25 points of magicka per second from living creatures within 20 feet, whether friend or foe. So basically anything around you, you're going to suck all their magic right out of them, and they're not going to be able to cast spells on you. And then you're going to move up this one here and get alter self resistances. You could pick whichever. You're going to get 2. You could pick whichever 2 you want. Usually because, well, like with that armor and everything else, I'm getting frost resistance, so you probably want to take fire and shock resistance. And then alter self attributes here, you're going to be able to increase either health, magic, or stamina by 50 points one time. Whichever one you're running low on, you're not really going to need magicka, but if you're needing some more stamina or some more health, just bump that one up. But what we're going for here is we're going for nullifier. You radiate a dampening field, preventing enemies within 25 feet from regenerating magicka and stamina. So basically what this does is, after you sucking all the magicka out of everybody with monarch, if they're within 25 feet of you, they can't regenerate magicka, or if you're hitting them with frost breath and you suck all their stamina out, they can't regenerate stamina either. So right here, enchanting, you're going to basically go up the enchanting tree. 2 out of 2 new enchantments are 40% stronger. Soul gems provide 4 extra weapon charges per points per level of enchanting. You don't really need to worry about the second part. Gem dust, you may choose to destroy a flawless gem when you begin to the enchanting process and sprinkle its dust on the arcane enchanter. New enchantments are 25% stronger when placed upon an item and the type corresponding to the gem. That's pretty self-explanatory. You get 25% better enchanting. Regalia is new enchantments placed upon robes, circlets, hoods, and necklaces are 30% stronger. I would recommend doing, I didn't do it on this build, but if you can, put your miracle, if you're going to go for miracle, on one of those, on either a robe. Well, you're not going to be using robes for this build unless you just don't want to use the storm stuff, but on a circlet, a hood, or a necklace, so that you can, and they'll be 30% stronger. So you can get 3 enchantments 30% stronger. It'll help you a lot. Another nice one to get would be attunement, but I didn't really need it for this build. And basically, you don't even, I could get it right now. Any enchantment on your weapon or armor becomes 10% more powerful. So even though the gear is already enchanted, you get this perk right here, and all those enchantments will become 10% stronger even after they've already been enchanted. So that's pretty nice. You can get it anytime you want. Twin enchantment, pretty self-explanatory. Just put 2 enchantments on each thing. Arcane Nexus, you may choose to upgrade 1 arcane enchanter to an arcane nexus for 2,500 gold. New enchantments created on an arcane nexus are 25% stronger, can be disassembled by sneaking, allow you to upgrade another. So again, that just makes anything that you enchant at that enchanter 25% stronger. And then here's the one miracle. You put your heart and soul into the next item you enchant at an arcane nexus, placing up to 3 enchantments upon it that are 25% stronger. Try as you might, you will never be able to repeat this feat. So, and if you legendary this and then go get miracle again, you're not going to be able to enchant another thing 3 times. So you can't just keep doing that, enchant all your gear 3 times. It's only per playthrough you get it 1 time. But you can see the enchantments are 25% stronger if you, and that's on 1 piece of gear with 3 enchantments. And then if you do it on one of these 3 things or 4 things, that's 30% stronger. And then of course with gem dust, it's another 25%. So that's 80% stronger enchantments from those 3 perks on 1 piece of gear with 3 enchantments can be 80% stronger. And then if you go and get attunement, those enchantments will become another 10% stronger. So that's pretty nice. Next up we have one-handed. 1 out of 2. Again, I didn't want to get 2 out of 2 because I think that my sword right around 100 is just about perfect. You're going to get Furious Strength. Power attack damage with one-handed weapons increased by 15 plus 0.1% point per stamina. Unlocks decapitations. And then Overrun, you can perform a one-handed sprinting power attack that deals up to 50% more damage and critical damage to a target above half health. The higher its remaining health percentage, the more damage and critical damage is dealt. So that's pretty nice. Rogue's Parry. When wielding a one-handed weapon, and with this build you're not going to be using anything in your left hand, and an empty other hand, attacking with weapons while the opponent is winding up their attack or drawing a bow deals 40% more damage and delivers a critical strike. Disciplined Fighter reduces the stamina cost of power attacks with one-handed weapons by 15 points. Thundering Blow. Whenever you perform, and you're going to see with this sword, it swings very fast. So hitting 8 or more one-handed regular attacks really quick, it doesn't take very much to get that many. Whenever you perform total of 8 or more one-handed regular attacks in combat, your next one-handed power attack is a Thundering Blow that deals double damage and costs no stamina, resetting the counter. Aftershock. After a Thundering Blow, attack speed is increased by 75% for 3 seconds, so that makes it swing even faster. Clash of Champions 1 out of 3. Attacks with swords reduce the target's attack damage by 10% for 3 seconds. Again, you can keep bumping that up to 3 out of 3 if you think you want more damage, or basically taking less damage from them. Crosscut 1 out of 2. Unblocked regular attacks with a sword increase the damage of your power attacks against the target by 25% for 4 seconds. Again, bump that up to 2 out of 2 if you want more damage. Falling Sword. Forward's power attacks with a sword cause targets to bleed for 20 seconds. When a bleeding target falls below 25% health, your attacks against the target are critical strikes that deal 10 times critical damage. Windswept. Sideways power attacks with a sword fling targets backwards up to 6 feet, dealing up to 40% more damage based on distance traveled. Into the Dust. Repeated standing power attacks with a sword against a target do escalating damage if no more than 3 seconds pass between each hit. This effect stacks up to 3 times, each doing 15% more damage. Reaching 4 stacks knocks the target off their feet. And then Judgment. Slaying an enemy under the effect of Clash of Champions restores 100 points of stamina. And if you want even more damage, go ahead and take Wandering Warrior. Whenever you defeat at least 4 humanoids and or animals in a single battle, you gain a permanent 1% bonus to one-handed damage. This effect stacks up to 20%, so you can get up to 20% more damage with your sword. Again, that's all your choice if you're wanting even more damage. I'm finding that this build is already kind of overpowered for my taste, but the next one is Speech. 2 out of 2. Speech Master. You don't really need it for selling items, but this is for the shouting. And the universe listens. Shouting restores points of health, magicka, and stamina equal to your shout cooldown in seconds. You gain speech experience when shouting based on your shout cooldown. Windborn. Shouting summons up a divine wind, granting 30% extra attack damage and 15% increased movement speed for 15 seconds. This effect stacks, and you will find that with your very, very short cooldowns, if you're shouting often, it starts to stack up and you'll be flying around like the wind. I mean, you'll move fast. Force Redoubled. 50% chance to reduce the cooldown of any shout to 3 seconds. That's 2 out of 2. 1 out of 2, I believe, is 25% chance. Hurricane Force. Shouts that affect others are 1% more powerful per level of speech. Thume of War. Your shouts stagger nearby enemies within 25 feet, reducing armor rating by 300 points for 10 seconds and knocking enemies below 25% health to the ground. What's really nice about that is the 300 points of armor that you take from them. Merciless Storm. Grants the Merciless Storm power. You don't really need this. It grants the Merciless Storm power once a day, cancels an active shout cooldown, allowing you to shout again immediately afterwards. You also get another power that's very similar to that when you're using Thunderchild, the shout package. It comes from a book within High Hrothgar, and it does the same thing. And I never use either one of them because with the shout cooldown, what it is, and most of the time, this perk right here triggers anyways. It's reduced to 3 seconds, and you can even with Summer Mist you can get a enchantment that gives you depending on your enchanting skill, 15% chance to reduce your shout to 3 seconds. So yeah, you don't really ever need that power, but if you did do something like Storm Call or something really long, and for whatever reason none of those things triggered, and you have like a 1 minute cooldown or a 2 minute cooldown or something going on, you can hit that and instantly refresh your cooldown rate. So that's all the skills right there. All the powers. So I guess what we're going to do here is go kill some enemies. We already killed a dragon, so I guess we don't need to go kill a dragon. Where should we go to kill some enemies here? I guess we can go to Fort Greymore. That's usually got a good, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 enemies or something in it. And they're all right there. You don't have to really go looking for them too much. We'll show some of the shouts that this thing does. You already explained what curse. And curse comes from Thunderchild also. I'm going to go ahead and put this to daytime. Watch, I'm going to advance time and another dragon assault's going to happen. Okay, so other shouts. I find this one here is really fun, but I don't use it very often for this build, and that's Wail of the Banshee. So with all 3 words, with any enemy around you whose health is below half, it instantly kills them. And it's like a really loud screeching, like a Wail of the Banshee, so that's pretty cool. Shroud of Snowfall. This is more for a sneak build. It makes you invisible and muffles, and it even does it while you're standing and running. So that's pretty cool if you're a sneak character. Sometimes I use it. I'll use it here when I run into this place, just because it looks pretty cool. It like makes a blizzard and you can't see, because what it's doing is hiding you inside a blizzard, basically, I guess. Ice Form or Iceborn. It's a really cool shout that also comes from Thunderchild. All these shouts that aren't vanilla are going to be from Thunderchild. I'm not using any other shout, or any other thing that gives shouts. Iceborn, what this does is all 3 words you're going to shout, and all the enemies that are around you, it's going to pop them up into the air, and they're going to be kind of floating there, and I believe it lasts for like 10 seconds, and you're going to keep spitting out like an ice ball. And when you hit them, it's usually about 3 times. It'll cover them in ice, and then you move to the next enemy. And the more enemies that you freeze, basically, the higher damage it does when the effect ends, and it kind of like blows up on them. It doesn't really do a lot of damage. It's kind of just more for like aesthetics and like the funny factor. So I don't really use it very often at all. Frost Breath is absolutely devastating because I'm using another mod. I don't remember what it's called, but it'll be linked in the description, and it enhances both Fire Breath and Frost Breath. And basically the first word is the normal shout. The second 2 words, the second one is going to do what the dragons like do, which is kind of like throw out like either an ice or a fireball. And then the third word on each one is going to be a constant stream. So this will be a constant stream of ice breath like they do. And it is absolutely, it wrecks them. So, and the fire one wrecks things that are weak to fire. So it's pretty nice. And it's only, all 3 words are only a 6-second cooldown anyways. Let's see, Dragon, you're on a Curse. Again, you saw what Curse did. So what we're going to do here is go ahead and put this on. And you can see I got the purple thing under my feet, so I'm muffled. But sometimes it does still seem like they hear you when you're actually up and running like this, and then sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of wonky like that. It definitely does. Nobody hears you if you're crouched. But let's see. See, nobody's even picking me up yet. Wonder if I can get them by. Okay, well, I guess I can. Oh, see, look, there it is. I got myself a long ass cooldown. I wonder if my no, that didn't work. But see, that's what I was saying. There's a rare time when you might actually get a long cooldown when one of those things doesn't trigger. Then it's nice to have that that thing there so you can kill the cooldown. But you can see what it does is it pops up the enemies. You can't control how fast those balls go out. And then it blows up and does that. We'll hit somebody. You see what it did to a highwayman right there. It just absolutely devastates. It makes frost breath and everything else really, really devastating. And see, there's somebody over here far. 2 words, there he is. 2 words is going to be like a projectile. See, it's kind of like Ice Storm. And it just killed them. Oh, it almost killed him. And he's done. So yeah, you can see why I've been thinking about taking a little bit of the damage off. And this, again, this is on Legendary. And I do have Wildcat and Revenge of the Enemies enabled. Now, if you're not careful, they're going to hit you and they will take you down in like 2 or 3 hits. And see, I didn't even put Dragon Hide on yet. I think it may still be active though, actually. Yeah, 13 minutes. You can see it's quite overpowered, even with no enchantments on the sword and no smithing at 100 damage. If I can get rid of this blizzard effect here, the sword swings very fast. And then when you start getting those other perks going that increase the swing speed, you can see that's with no enhancements going to increase the swing speed. A reason why it's also swinging a little bit fast is what is it? Oh, it's in Finis or FNIS, your animations mod. There's the PCEA 2 or whatever that you can download that comes with Finis, and it gives you new animations like this one where they stand kind of sideways, or like the sexy female standing idle, and the jump animation like this where they jump and kind of flip rather than just jump up like that. But it also has one in there called one-handed sword or Oriental. It's called Oriental Swordplay, and it works with 2-handed or 1-handed weapons, and that's where you get those different animations like this, and it seems to make them swing a little bit faster. Of course, you don't really use a mount for this build. You just fly everywhere. If you're going to use the flying mod, don't increase the speed at all, because you can see even at normal speed, it lags it down sometimes if you're flying too fast, because it's trying to render stuff in too quickly. Some machines can handle that better, of course, but as you're moving along, if you're moving too quickly, it's trying to render all this scenery, the trees, I mean NPCs, it's trying to render all that stuff in a lot faster than if you were just running or going on horse. The same thing applies to horses. If you have, like, say, convenient horses and you're running extra speed on it and you're trying to like cover ground really fast, the same thing is going to happen. So, but yeah, if you keep your speed down, and if you just once in a while just kind of stop like this and let everything render in, and then you can pick it up again. Guess we'll go ahead and clear this out without being invisible.
Fool? You think it's a bad time to get lost, friend. Fool?
Go ahead and clear this place out here. And also, it seems like whenever you hit them with ice breath, they seem to take more damage. It's almost like it makes them brittle. I don't think it's supposed to. I mean, all that's really supposed to do is mess up their stamina. Okay, that was a kill cam that didn't quite work. There it goes. Kind of bugged out a little bit there. The animation got stopped halfway through.
Crime? Siguro!
And of course I studied the Become Ethereal. That's the only healing that I'm using on this build is Become Ethereal, with the study the word with Parthenax to heal while you're ethereal. You could run Okado's Recital and run something like Healing Blossom or something. Also, with this enhanced Fire Breath and Frost Breath mod, there is an optional file. I haven't checked it out yet, but there's an optional file that with all 3 words, rather than you shouting the 3 words, what it does is it makes the dragon sound like when the dragon is yelling at you and they're breathing fire. It gives it that sound file, so if you want to like yell like a dragon basically. But there's the build. I think I covered everything. With this flying mod and the wings and all that stuff, you don't really need to worry about fall damage. I don't think I've ever taken damage from falling. The mod says on the, I believe it's on the flying mod, that you have 5 seconds of falling or something like that. But I know with the wings, when you have wings out, you have this gliding here. You can see how they glide when you jump, and that seems to negate any kind of fall damage. You seem to be able to just fall and you kind of like hang glide, basically like a hang glider. Maybe I could get, no, because I have I still, well, I could get rid of dragon hide here. I want to try to get one of these guys to kill me and then kill themselves by killing me. Okay, that's a way. So we'll put on curse. But you get the idea after seeing what the dragon did. If they do enough damage that it'll kill me, it'll also kill them, but they don't have to kill me. As long as they do enough damage that 5 times the damage they do to me is enough to kill them, it'll still kill them. But let's see if he could do enough damage to actually kill me. Oh, I didn't curse him. I'm going to stand there and let him kill me. It looks like it brought me back, but love transcends death. I'm brought back to life. What's going to happen here? I've never seen this happen before. It's still going to kill me, I bet. And I was just talking about how fall damage isn't going to kill you. It didn't kill me. He's going to kill me. I was going to say he's going to kill me, though, because I was stuck in the ragdoll animation. Yeah, but you can see what happened was he killed me. Love Transcends brought me back. I'm going to see if I can replicate that again. That was pretty funny. The Lover Stone brought me back, but it killed him because it did, you know, again, when he was cursed, he did 5 times the damage to himself that he did to me. It doesn't always kill you, like with that dragon when it bit me, but normally it does if it's something that hits hard enough. Okay, dude. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. You still cursed? Cursed only lasts like 5 seconds, I think. It doesn't last very long. You're not cursed right there, dude. I think I still have dragon hide on. But you get the gist of it. I think you see what goes on here. Yeah, my dragon hide's still up. Okay, he's stuck in an animation. I'm over here trying to kill him. He's dead. Search died. He's dead. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to cut that off there. If you have any other questions, or if I somehow forget a mod listed into the mod description on what mods I'm using, if you have any questions, just go ahead and hit me up or hit up the comment section, and I'll make sure to get back to you. Hope you enjoy the build and have a lot of fun with it. I've had a lot of fun with it. If it seems overpowered to you, just lower some things like one-handed damage or something like that. Other than that, have fun with the new shouts from Thunderchild added to this. Makes it a lot of fun. and basically have a lot of fun just flying around too. It's a lot of fun. You're supposed to be able to do combat while flying, but it doesn't seem to want to work very well. If you stop while you're flying, you can pull out your sword and you can actually attack and stuff. But if you start moving, she's gonna start flying, but the wings don't move, and I'm hitting the trigger right now. They don't attack or anything, and even when I stop like this, I can't attack until I redraw the sword again, and then they're kind of just standing there. So it doesn't really work that well. I really had a really cool idea where I wanted to be able to fly around and actually attack dragons with the sword stuff. That would have been really cool, but it doesn't work. I cannot get it to actually do attacking while doing this. Now if you're some kind of a mage and doing like spells, like projectile spells, then yeah, you can chase dragons up into the sky here and just launch fireballs at them and shit. That's pretty fun. And you can't put your weapon away either when you're up in the air like this. So it's kind of wonky, but you can actually, flying around just by itself is fun enough. But yeah, yeah, the other thing I was using here I wanted to go over was this armor. It's Stalrum armor, but you can see that it looks like ice. And that comes from, it's a refracting Stalrum armor mod, which actually makes it look like ice like that. So pretty cool stuff. I really like the way she turned out looking. Definitely looks like some kind of a frost dragon hybrid thing there. So, but yeah, again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next episode. Well guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please smash that like button and also consider hitting that subscribe button. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in future episodes.